let's talk about the heist real quick. The heist was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
I love the heist. Vel got some cold feet, man. You know,
that's when I knew it was going to go wrong. That's when I knew. I was just like, Vel, like, I'm like, you can't, you got it. Like, Cinta's a G. She's just like, yo. Like, pull your pants up and like, fucking let's go.
Look, but that's the realism of it, though, right?
Yeah.
No, that is I totally agree.
Yeah. Like, in that moment, you're like, hey, man, we can walk away right now. We can all go back to our lives. You know what I'm saying? Not all great, but still. And she is like seizing up. Cinta has to be like, hey, man, what are we here for? Let's go. Let's get it.
But even before that, we learned the line that Cinta's family was killed by stormtroopers. So it makes so much sense that she's like, if we die, we die. Come on, we got to go. It makes so much, because like the genius thing that these 3 episodes did is when you meet Cinta, they almost center her as like the attractive one in the group, the healer, the one that doesn't really, I think everybody was just kind of like, oh, okay, she's not maybe the one that is rah, rah, rah.
Not exactly nerves of steel kind of a thing. Yeah.
You're like, oh no, you are actually what gives Vel so much of her courage. You're actually the backbone of this entire thing, which I'm just like, oh, that is great writing, because it reveals through the 3 episodes everything that even I think Cassian thought of Cinta is wrong. She's not some damsel in distress. She's like, nah, like, I'm about ready to get busy.
Vel, I gotta be honest with you, Vel, having second thoughts about jumping off that high ass ledge, I get it, man. It's like she has to. She. I always wonder that. Like, I wonder that about Batman. Like, Batman just scared of bats, jumping off of a building, not a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I always wonder that. Like, it's human. Like, she's look, yo, is this solid, man? Because we about to suspend, repel all the way down that whole deal. But I think what's also important, there's also something I want to point out. We have seen in live action Star Wars a couple of different Empire dissenters. Okay. 2 stormtroopers have turned. And then we got a lieutenant. And there was one lady that was in Obi-Wan, but let's keep her out of it for a second. All 3 of these guys turn their back on the Empire. 2 stormtroopers. Black men. What's going on in the Empire, guys? Finn, ex-stormtrooper, out. Ex-stormtrooper here, out. You got the lieutenant going, out. What's going on? What they serving in the mess hall?
Can I have an answer for this.
Let me hear it.
All right, so what does J-Hold say, the portly Imperial? My man was talking reckless in the beginning of the episode. He said the Donnies, they're a simple people. They breed a sad combination of traits that make them particularly vulnerable to manipulation. On a practical level, they have a difficulty holding multiple ideas simultaneously. You've been talking about this for a while, how the Empire, what really takes them down is how racist they are.
They're racist.
Bruh, if I'm Finn, if I'm these black people, and I join this shit, you know, Kanye told you to join the Empire. You get there, you like, God, like, these motherfuckers racist as hell.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not staying around here.
Not one black moth didn't see one. Wouldn't let Thrawn even come up there and be it because they're against his blue skin. Boy,
that's what I'm saying. That's what it is.
Jomi, talk your shit.
I mean, listen, if they won't let, like you said, they won't let the homie, not really the homie, but they won't let Admiral Thrawn be part of their inner circle.
Be honest, you like Thrawn.
But who doesn't like Thrawn?
Be honest. Be honest, you like Thrawn.
He be doing his thing.
Thrawn be spitting. He's evil, but he be spitting.
Here's the thing. Of all the people, you will want to get Thrawn is cool, bro. You like Thrawn.
Thrawn is cool.
Yeah.
If we can say Darth Vader's cool, we could say Thrawn's cool.
Darth Vader not that cool.
He's scary. He's not cool.
He's scary. He's a badass.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to hang out. I'm not. No, he'll choke you out of nowhere.
Sure,
you die. like you can't. Like Thrawn cool.
So
Go
Thrawn's
ahead,
a great hang, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Thrawn's a smart guy, and they were like, "Nah, bro, you got blue skin because he's an alien, right? Imagine being black.
Jesus
That's gotta be crazy.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
gotta be nuts.
Here's the thing. They were talking wild about the Aldanis, and the Aldanis are white people. Think about how the Empire's talking about black people behind them.
Yeah.
Woo,
It's
man,
Yeah. See?
it's gotta be foul.
sounded like DiCaprio and Django Unchained.
Like a Quentin Tarantino script. Jesus Christ, man.
Okay. The job kicks off. Is there one point that you think that the crew would fail? Was there
Nah, man.
at one moment?
Now-
There were moments. I think another mark of a great show is I really wasn't sure that they would pull it off.
I genuinely thought that they would fail. I truly thought that this would go
I mean,
like
did
really
they-
south.
Did they succeed? Like, I think they succeeded largely in that, like, they got away. They definitely put some, they didn't get all the credits, but they got a lot of the credits. But I do think that what I am trying to figure out, do you think that Skeen saw the level of sacrifice that went into this? How many people had to die? How many people, like, just for them to leave with 80 million credits? And he's just like, yo, I can't do this. It's too high. Even I think Cassian has that feeling.
Are
where
you
he's just like,
litigating right now whether or not the job was worth it?
yeah, for at least for the players involved. I think for the rebellion, it's worth it. But if I'm Cassian, if I'm Skeen, I'm like, bruh, all of this for 80 million credits? You have to think about how long they were on that planet, how much they sacrificed, how much they had to learn. And even then, how many people walk away? 2? 3 with Cinta?
3.
3?
Yeah.
That's a heavy price to pay.
The stakes are at an all-time high. Remember, this is not destroying the Death Star. This is inconveniencing the Empire.
Just inconveniencing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can see what you're saying, but this is why when the rebellion comes, we leave in you. All right, when we rebel, when me, Steve, and Jomi lead the rebellion, we leave in you because you can't think like that. In all seriousness, at some point, I think this story is interrogating when people stop being people and start being weapons. Because when you're in a rebellion, like those people, they're not people, they're weapons.
And
That's what
Nemec even
Nemec
says
says.
so. Nemec, like,
Exactly.
he adapts his philosophy to be like, okay, I've been thinking about you, Cassian. I've been thinking about, or Clem at the time, but he's like, I used to be opposed to this kind of thing, but you're effectively a tool, and we need to use tools. And the Empire doesn't have any boundaries. Neither should we. And
Right.
we need to teach them that.
Mhm.
And what does Cassian say? He's like, you're not going to teach these people anything.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
there isn't going to be peace treaties. There's not going to be people, coming across an aisle like at the end of like some great war to like, merge together in peace. Like, this needs to be extinguished if you're going to get what you want.
And so looking at that, that's the question that in any rebellion you have to ask yourself is, are you willing to leave your humanity at the door? That's why building governments is not quite what rebels are good at. I mean, there were a group of rebels that were slave owners back in the day that built a pretty functioning government, whatever. But a lot of times when rebels take over, they don't build great governments because they've had to sacrifice the thing that would make you the empathy and the systemic understanding. You've been fighting for so long that's all you know how to do. And this right here tells you that Cassian's fate can only go one way, because once he buys in, there's no way out of it on the other side. It's like it's high stakes mission after high stakes mission, and at some point, the game of Russian roulette, you're gonna get the bullet. You know what I mean? And that's the nature of this type of rebellion.
I mean, isn't that, and I don't think they did this on purpose, but to your point, the genius of Star Wars is that what happens in the original trilogy after the rebels win, the First Order comes. Because to your point, rebels are very good at rebelling. They're very good at like attacking a system. But when it comes time to like make a functioning government that is strong and can like survive all of this stuff, it's like, I guess the Star Wars universe has taught us like we're on an endless cycle of like Empire rebels, even if they go by a different name. I think the Jedi are stuck on that same cycle of like they fall, they rise, they fall, they rise, which I think is kind of the heartbeat of this entire franchise.